Hey guys, it's Jeff with Appalachian Hiker. I'm getting ready to go on a backpacking trip in a couple of weeks, and I was thinking about my food options. There's the prepackaged meals that you can get in the store. These are really good. This is a Mountain House. You can get this anywhere. There are also other options that for places online where you can buy these sorts of dehydrated, freeze-dried foods. They're really good, but they're expensive. You can also go the homemade route, and I want to dehydrate some stuff, and I think that's what I'm going to do for this upcoming trip. I'd like to thank a couple of people that have gotten me inspired to make my own food. First of all, Hungry Hammock Hanger out on YouTube. His description is in the links below. Great channel, really neat guy. He makes a lot of really good food, and that's what I've been doing in the past based on his recipes. And then I found another fellow, Chef Glen, over at backpackingchef.com. He's got a great website with anything you'd ever want to know about dehydrated food, and he's got a crazy, amazing ebook for sale that you can get from him that's got all sorts of recipes and hints and tips and tricks on dehydrating and packaging and making your own backpacking food. And that's what we're going to use today. I got some recipes that we printed out from his ebook. We're going to make his spicy corn chowder bark. You can do all sorts of things with it. You can eat it alone. You can use it as part of another meal. So today, let's make some spicy corn chowder bark from Chef Glen at backpackingchef.com. Check his link in the box below. You'll be happy you did. Okay, for Chef Glen's spicy corn chowder bark, we're going to need a 15-ounce can of corn, including the liquid. The recipe calls for 5 to 6 small potatoes, but I'm just going to go with a can of these whole new potatoes, save a little time. It wants also a half a bouillon cube, but I don't have bouillon cubes, but I have some chicken stock left over, so we'll improvise with that. And the recipe also calls for a cup of the drained water from when you cook the potatoes. So I'm going to use the water from in the can and add a little. And then salt and pepper. So we start by just adding the creamed corn into the blender. I want to measure out the water that I'm getting from these potatoes, because we're supposed to have a cup, and it looks like just about, what, 2/3 of a cup, not even. So I've got to add a little more water to bring that up. Okay, so I've added some more water to the potato water, and that gives me a cup of the water that I would have gotten had I boiled these instead of opened them out of the can. Next, you can just add the potatoes in with the corn. You could probably put these in whole, but I'm going to cut them up for fun. The most difficult part about using these potatoes is cooking with them and not just eating them out of the can, because I really like these things. In fact, eat that. Next up, we're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt, followed by a half a teaspoon of coarse ground pepper. Then we're going to add the potato water in. And to make it spicy corn chowder bark, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of this picante salsa. Dump that in there. Fire it up. Now just put the lid on. Don't forget to put the lid on. And blend. So blend it down until it looks almost like a banana smoothie. Looks really smooth and creamy. Okay, now we're almost there. The fun part begins. We're just going to pour this on that fruit roll-up tray that comes with your dehydrator. Not too thick. The thicker it is, the longer it'll take to dry, and just spread it out nice and evenly. That way, hopefully it'll get done this afternoon sometime. And I'm going to make this one 2 trays deep. I'm going to do 2 at once. Okay, I've got 2 trays of this here in the dehydrator. It's on about 145. I'll check it in a little while and see how it's going. If I think the temperature needs to go up a little bit, I'll turn it up. This particular dehydrator doesn't have an on-off switch, so you just have to unplug it. It's kind of inconvenient, but it does have a temperature gauge on the side. I do like it. I like it a lot. It's a good little dehydrator. It served me well. So we'll be checking back in a few hours. Okay, so here's the final product. Chef Glen tells us to go 8 to 10 hours at 135 degrees. That wasn't my experience. My experience was my dehydrator was on at about 135, 140 degrees, and this stuff was done in about 2 hours. I poured it on kind of thin the first time around, and the second time went on a little thicker, but it still dehydrated out pretty thin. And this is probably 2 cups from just 1 can of corn and 1 can of potatoes and some spices. It doesn't matter. You can eat it like this, or you can just rehydrate it and use it for a soup base, for a stew or something. It'll just give you some good flavor in a stew. And pretty lightweight. Looks like cornflakes. Good. That'll last for a long time. Leave it just like that. Done. So here we have the final product: spicy potato corn bark, straight out of Chef Glen's cookbook, and I'm loving it. I think it tastes really good, and it'll be a good addition to some soups and chowders and things out on the trail. It'll be a nice flavor addition. This is 1 can of corn and 1 can of potatoes and some spices, and I get about 2 cups, so I think that's pretty good. So this is the first in a series of these videos that I'm going to make as I'm preparing food for this upcoming trip. If this is something you want to continue seeing, just let me know in the comments box down there, and don't forget to subscribe if you like what you're seeing here. And I just want to thank everybody for watching, taking the time to check these videos out. I really appreciate it. Thank you.